Right, Wagwan people. I hope everyone is doing all right. First, let me ask you, how are you doing on this deadline day? Because, oh man, I would say 3 hours ago, I was very excited. I was thinking, since how early, they've, stand down, maybe that's obvious that Osihmen is now coming. But in the last hour or so, I'm looking at the news and Fabrizio and the Sky Sports and a couple of YouTubers, Ben Jacobs, the Athletic Club, David Ornstein, talking about how now it's a bit difficult and the deal might not end up coming through because Osihmen, is not agreeing to personal terms due to the wages. You know how Chelsea, we have, started not, trying not to pay, a huge amount of wages to the players. We're trying to cut down our wage structure. And I think our average bill is about 75 to 77 a week, as obviously reported online. We don't know how true that is, but for sure, we've been cutting down our wage structure. And that's part of the reason why players like Ben Chio, Raheem Sterling are being moved out of the club. But I was thinking, when it comes to Osihmen, right? How much less is he taking? Like, how much can be the cut be for someone who's ambitious to actually play in the Premier League and to remain in the Europe? Because the way it looks right now, seems as if like Al Ali has already completed a deal with Ivan Toney and Brentford. So if I was Ivan Toney, to be honest with you, I'll take what's on the table because first of all, you're 25 years old. You're coming into the Premier League, a team which has got a potential to actually one of the team to challenge the Premier League. We don't know for how long, but can't be in the next 5 years. It could be this season if he's to come and help us because we already know where our problem is when it comes to Chelsea not winning games. We're not scoring enough goals for us to put teams to bed because players like Jackson keep missing their chances, man, and we don't have that out-and-out striker. So if I was Osihmen, I'll look into the amount of chances Jackson is missing, and I'll look at the amount of competition that he would have in a Chelsea squad. And by the look of it, he would come and just straight on, go into the first 11. I don't think he will be as bad in terms of missing chances as Jackson is. So if I was Osihmen, I think I would be. Listen, I'm not blaming him for obviously wanting more money because I want more money as well. I mean, he's got family to feed. And he's African. We want money, what I'm saying? We have families to feed and everything. But at the end of the day, what's the point of being a player or wanting to be, in the European competitions if you're not as ambitious as like taking a little bit of a cut? And don't get me wrong, the cut is probably not as much as someone's salary in a week in a Chelsea, in a Chelsea squad. Now, I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But to some degree, I kind of don't want him to come anymore because if you're going to be putting money, don't get me wrong, right? I understand it's a business, and for these players, they feed from them playing, right? They feed them and their family from playing. So obviously, money is always going to play a big part. But there are players that I know, out of ambitions, they were willing to cut down their wages and actually go and prove themselves to be, even better players and play for these big clubs like Chelsea. We are, no matter how much you think about Chelsea, we are a big club. So for me, when I look at a player like Osihmen, obviously I like him and I think he would do better at Chelsea. You would do well at Chelsea, I like him. But the fact that you're making it, we're making this deal as hard as it is just because of wages. It makes me think that you're putting money above your ambitions. Now, again, it's okay. It's okay. I'm just saying, if I'm a supporter and I'm thinking that a player doesn't want to join my club because we want him to take a bit of a cut down, that's a concern. That's a concern because I would want a player to actually be motivated. You see what João Felix did? João Felix was on huge wages and he took a pay cut just so he can join a club like Chelsea and he can prove himself. Now, I'm not saying Osihmen has got to prove himself, but I'm also saying that if he's ambitious enough to want to come and play in the Europe and still win cups, he should be able to be okay with taking a pay cut. Because me as a fan, looking at it right now, I'm thinking, mate, just don't come. Just don't come. And I don't think Chelsea are going to do like what we did with Enzo Fernandez, because right now we're also linked with Sancho, and we're not going to buy two of them. We're probably just going to have one. If we're going to have two, one has to cut down their wages, and I'm pretty sure Sancho, is coming on loan. It could be with a buy option, or it could be with the obligation to buy. But I'm pretty sure if we're going to cover the wages, he might want to take a pay cut as well, if that's even possible, because he actually wants to join Chelsea. So I know Osihmen is probably put us in favor, of him wanting to come rather than going to Saudi Arabia. But again, man, you have to compromise. Like, I know I'm looking at it from one angle because I'm a Chelsea supporter, but I hear it that he wants money, he wants his wages to be where he wants it to be. But I'm just saying, as a fan, I don't want to force players to come into my club. If you don't want to come because we're not going to pay you enough, just don't come. Like, if he end up not coming, I'm not going to be as stressed as probably I would have been if it was the club situation. Like, the club we have already presented, we let Ivan Toney go because we wanted Osihmen. And the best you can do for us, man, is just to come. The money can't be that bad, bro. You come with these incentives. You're 25 years old. In the next 2 or 3 years, or you can always increase your funds. Look what Cole Palmer did. I know you're not as young as Cole Palmer, but 25, you're still young. Players do play until they're like 35. Especially strikers. You don't really have to run around the pitch as much, and you're playing in a team where we're a possession-based team. So you can play until you're 30 something and still be good. You can incentivize, your contract, and come and perform. Because at this point in time, I'm just like, just don't come. Like, just don't come. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think about Osihmen. I know we want him to come, but if it's gonna be with this kind of hard to get the deal done, personally, I'm saying maybe don't come. Anyway, just let me know, guys. Obviously, the window hasn't shut down yet, so things might change in the next 10 minutes, 2 minutes, even maybe right now when I'm recording this video, maybe they've already agreed with the terms. So I gotta go back and check. But as I'm recording this video, man, he hasn't agreed on personal terms, and I don't know if we still have time. But he's a player that I really wanted. But if he doesn't want to come because of wages, let it be it. It's all right. He doesn't have to come. It's okay. We'll move on. I'm sure we can always find a way to get other deals done. Yeah, man. Let me know in the comment section what you think, guys. Otherwise, let us go back to Sky Sports and Fabrizio Romano's live. Always gonna make more videos after this, updating each other. Peace.